Greetings! I'm Pobles and this is Because You Watched. The first movie I'm reviewing is Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol, which is a review request that came from this guy. MI4 is the fourth installment in the Cloak and Dagger action movie series Mission Impossible, which is about an agent, Ethan Hunt, who is sent on missions that are impossible! I have to say I was a little worried about this film. I've watched the others as I grew up, and with Tom Cruise's growing enthusiasm towards Scientology, I thought there may be some sort of subliminal messages in some of the scenes. We've received the data chip from our informant. It's only a matter of time now. Excellent. Praise Xenu. Our evil team of bad guys is en route. In all seriousness, Tom Cruise does do an okay job. It's just that, as with most of his roles, I sort of feel like watching him is watching Tom Cruise rather than Ethan Hunt. I kind of wish he could have done as good a job as he did in Minority Report, but alas, it was not meant to be! The opening sequences of this film were very, very good. Although they did seem to drag on a tiny bit, the creativity did make up for that. Not that my attention span needs stimulation. Birds. Bad Robot Studios helped out with this one, which some people might remember as the producers of ABC's hit show Lost. So when Josh Holloway, who played Sawyer in Lost, appeared in the first scene, needless to say I was less than surprised, but he did a very good job. The stunts, as expected in a film like this, were spectacular. They were actually a notch above the rest, and one particular thing I really liked were the gadgets. They actually seemed achievable. I could actually appreciate the amount of effort that went into designing these little things. However, I did have a few problems with this movie. First of all, I'm stealing a line from Firefly here, but I am a large, semi-muscular man. I've played paintball before. So it comes to my attention that when you get shot in real life, it's not just a matter of... crap. Getting shot hurts. It really hurts. So when people run around after getting a bullet to the stomach, I'm sorry, but I get a little pissed off at the unrealistic nature of the wound and its repercussions. Of course, it probably didn't help that the old woman in the theater next to me was just like, "Ah shit, ah shit, ah shit, ah shit," through the whole film. Now, I have a spoiler-free policy with my reviews, so be not afraid for this next bit. But the arrival of a sandstorm in this movie, especially making things harder for everyone at that particular point in time, is just too damn convenient that it's stupid. The amount of cliches in this movie was also pretty annoying. Just once I'd like to see an action film where the women weren't attractive, the men weren't grisly and dark, and everyone had some sort of dark secret. However, Simon Pegg did help this, but he was a bit of a comic relief character after all. I have to say the suspense was great, especially so when they were hacking and I noticed that the computer that they were using was a Dell and I was just like, they're screwed! Tom Cruise also featured his very distinctive running style. But even though this film had its shortcomings, it's alright. In fact, I have to credit it, it is probably the best of the series so far. All up, this movie gets a 6 out of 10. I'm not sure if it's still in the movies, but if you haven't yet seen it, go and check it out. It's actually pretty cool. The second movie I'll be reviewing is Kung Fu Hustle, which is a review request from this guy. You sick bastard. It was created in 2004 and it's about a selection of characters in a little epic battle between a slum filled with retired kung fu masters and a notorious criminal gang called the Axe Gang. This movie had me laughing from the start. The film is very cleverly done and the story is told very creatively. Some of the more technical components, however, such as the fighting and the visual effects, needed a lot of work. For example, the fighting for a martial arts movie just isn't that creative. It's mostly just a couple of guys kicking the crap out of each other at most. The visual effects, while good, you can tell that most of the budgeting went into the actors because most of the cast is made up of very famous retired martial arts actors. Also, the sound effects just got a little cartoony and repetitive, and it was just really annoying. This movie is odd, but it is also very uniquely expressive. It features a lot of strange scenes when you're not sure whether or not you're meant to laugh or if you're meant to just kind of turn it off. There's a high element of slapstick comedy, and for those of you who don't know what it is, slapstick comedy is kind of, instead of the audience slapping their knees, the faces of the actors get slapped and people laugh at it, and yeah. The ending I thought was pretty good. The acting was very touching and emotional in parts and very funny in the others. I am by far not a very big fan of martial art films, comedy films, or anime, and this takes elements from all three. But I did actually really have a good time watching this. It was very funny. All in all, this movie ranks an 8 out of 10. It's good, but the humor might not be everyone's oriental cup of tea. So that's all I have time for. Please comment, subscribe, spread this around Facebook or Tumblr or Twitter or whatever you can, because I really need the views. Unfortunately, we didn't get up to 650 this time around, guys, but I'm hoping that eventually, when my view count gets to 650 views in 1 week after the release, I will start doing bi-weekly videos. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.